Welcome back to another episode of PA Whiskey Guys. I'm Chris,
I'm Jesse.
And Johnny here.
and we're back with another Zoom PA Whiskey Guys. What's going on, guys? How are you?
Good, good.
Yeah, all good here. Waiting for these 60 degree days to show up. They're
Yeah,
coming
me too.
supposedly.
Yeah, someone said it was going to be 70 this week. I said, get out of here, man. What? It's probably going to be seven. You
Yeah,
know?
right.
It was cold this morning going
Man.
to work, that's for sure.
Yeah, it was. It was real
Ooh.
cold. But single digits, so
Yeah, it was.
insane. Insane. I'm over this. I'm over. I feel like every episode we've been recording lately, it's single digits, teens,
Yeah.
snowing.
Oof.
Yeah, we had a
Yeah,
cold
what
spell there for a while.
since December.
Man, last time we recorded here, we had how many heaters running in the garage?
Yeah.
Yeah, right. Man, I feel like I need a heater now.
I could use
But
one, that's for sure. It's cold in the
Eh,
house.
should have some heater in your glass, brother.
I drink a sweater every day. Or every glass, I should say, not every day, but every glass is a new sweater, you know? It's like Mr. Rogers. So this is right up my alley tonight. We're on episode 57, and we're gonna commemorate the Bottle and Bond Day, which is March 3rd. So as of this releasing on the 4th, the day before. So tomorrow, Tuesday, March 3rd, Bottle and Bond Day. This March 3rd was commemorated for the Bottle and Bond Act of 1897. And from what I've understood is the U.S. we didn't have any laws that regulated anything. Anybody could come in at any age of whiskey or add whatever they wanted to it, and they really got unreputable. And I know that um, its reputation started going downhill, and that's when they came out with this, and they started holding everybody accountable and saying they put a standard in place. So. There was no uniform labeling, no federal enforced proof standards, no minimum aging, it, no production transparency. So nobody was doing it the same. They were all adding stuff to it, and which is really interesting to think
Yeah.
that someone was going out buying bulk liquid or whatever, and then they
Right.
were adding their little things to it and then reselling it as Kentucky Fine Spirits or whatever, you know.
They put a lot of nasty stuff in the whiskey back then, you know. I read like they were putting kerosene in there and
Oh,
like tobacco
geez.
spit and all kinds of stuff. It's crazy.
Wow.
It's like when you really read into it, there was like a lot of stuff that I
Yeah.
mean, again, is it true? I don't know, but it was
Yeah.
they needed this for a reason, you know, because people were getting sick probably and you know, so
And you hear the horror stories of that absinthe, I think it was
yeah.
called,
Right.
right? I mean, all the horror stories on that too.
Yep.
I don't know if that was around this time. I don't know much about absinthe, but
I think that
uh,
originated overseas though, like Poland area. That's where that's
oh,
from
did it?
originally. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, originally. That was
I
more
mean,
that's more natural stuff. That's from a root or
oh,
wood.
okay, okay. Because I've heard some nasty stuff from that too. You know, if they didn't get it right, they were getting real sick. Wormwood, right? Isn't
Yeah,
that
it's wormwood, yeah. Yep.
wormwood?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, but and I mean, if you think too, like right before this regulation, the federal government relied on the taxes from the alcohol sales. And if people weren't buying it because they didn't trust it, it was hurting the government. So, I mean, of course, the government cares about their money, so they're going to put a policy in place about the bottle and bond. So they're doing something for them, but they're doing something for the people too, you know,
Right.
to help
This is
revenue,
this,
sales, and taxes.
this is the thing. This is like the very very first act of anything like that was put in. It's you know, it mentions the FDA, the Food and Drug Administration. I guess that's what
Yeah.
they called it back then. I don't know how old it is, but that's what they reference it in like anything that you read now. And this is before any of those regulations were put in on food. It was done on whiskey, which is kind
Mm.
of crazy when you think about it, you know? You know, there was no regulations on any type of food or anything back then, you know? So for alcohol or spirits in general to have you know,
To hit some of the
re-
first,
yeah, to be regulated by the government. It's pretty crazy,
Right.
yeah, to
So,
become one of the first regulated things. That's,
mhm.
but you think too, a lot of their taxes came from it too. They were
Yeah,
making money on it.
Yeah.
yep,
So
yep,
of course they're going to have a say,
yeah.
you know. But I know there were the two architects or the two big guys with the reform of it.
Yeah, it's actually pretty neat how at least one of them, because if nobody knew anything about bottled and bond, but they were into bourbon, whiskey, and stuff, they're gonna know one of these guys because he's
Hmm.
famous for many things. But this act is definitely one of them. So the first guy is John G. Carlisle. He was a U.S. senator from Kentucky and the former Secretary of the Treasury way back when. I'm assuming, obviously 1897 era. But I don't know his time frame when he was back then. But he was one of them that got this started. But it was kind of introduced to him, which I believe was a good buddy back then. They were good friends. Um, Edmund Haynes Taylor Jr., which is Colonel E.H. Taylor, that we all know. E.H. Taylor,
Hmm.
the bourbon from Buffalo Trace now. So E.H. Taylor was there, and he just wanted to get it right. He wanted to make it, the right way and have everything, a standard. He wanted a standard. I don't know really other way to put it. And it was his voice that kind of got this whole ball rolling with Carlisle, and then they, presented it I guess in front of Congress and all that stuff back then.
Yeah. And with
So
that, with
Right.
E.H. Taylor, I know we mentioned him a little bit last week. We the bottle and bond that we were drinking last week.
yeah,
You
yeah, we
know.
missed that train by a week because
Yeah.
I didn't
Yeah.
look at the calendar. I have a calendar that
Yeah.
tells you kind of all the national whiskey related events.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, not to get too off topic, Bottled and Bond Day is also National Irish Whiskey Day, which is kind of crazy. So
Right.
it's another one, that ties in there. But yeah, we missed it. We missed it by a week, and we weren't even trying to do it last time. Just something
No.
we thought of.
No. I don't think I have any Irish whiskey, actually, thinking of it now.
Not me.
Uh,
That was a thing for me. I was into it, but
yeah.
I there's some now that I would definitely go back to. I don't think it has the flavors that
Mm.
bourbon does for me.
Hmm.
But
Yeah.
so
Yeah. I mean, there's a couple good ones out there. Some Redbreast, especially the cash strength. I mean, I
yeah,
know getting a little off subject here, but a little more body behind it, a little more flavor and so forth.
Oh, the
Yeah.
Irish.
Well, yeah.
I find them now. If I was to go back to something on that side, there is a noticeable difference with pot still. Most of it's pot stilled, pot
Right.
distilled, and they're thin. There's no body to them, like John said. They are thin for the most
Yeah.
part. You know, but they are sweet. You can get some sweet ones, up front,
Hmm.
but I don't
Hmm.
know. It was an eye opener to me when I really got into bourbon, like how much it does kind of lack, and it's got its own thing. It's got its own place in the world of history of whiskey. So,
Right.
but
We're gonna dive into a little bit of the bonded warehouse system here. So the word bond refers to a government-backed guarantee, and under the act, the whiskey that was labeled bottled in bond had to be aged in federally supervised bonded warehouses, and then the taxes were deferred until the whiskey was, ready to be bottled and processed. And while doing that, it also made it a little less stressful financially for the distillers, while ensuring the accountability of their product and reputation.
probably a lot of theft back then. I would assume. You know,
Right.
if you weren't in a bonded warehouse, I'm sure there was a lot of theft. Or, I would have to imagine.
Yeah. And, under the bonded warehouse system, so a couple of things that were, monitored by, the federal government, the production, the storage, the movement of the barrels, and then, the the process of bottling, compliance, and so forth. So in this, with this bonded system, it pretty much created the earliest examples, tracking and regulating production. And Jesse, getting back to your breakdown earlier in our the start of our podcast here, the American food and beverage industry.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it's crazy that this kind of
Yeah.
set the wheels in motion, right from the start,
Right.
you know. And Chris, I know you're going to jump in shortly here with exactly what the bottle and bond means,
Yeah.
but it ultimately, for the people that may have never heard of it, before he gets into that, is it's a quality product. You're getting something quality. You
Mhm.
should be getting something quality. It doesn't all taste the same, but
Hmm.
each distiller is different, of course, now, especially now. Back then who knew, but so
Yeah, and with that, with the bottle and bond actually means, and to be able to carry that title of bottle and bond is they had to meet federal regulations and federal standards, which are still in effect today. And some of those being that it had to be distilled in a single distillation season. So January to June or July to December, it had to be produced at one distillery um, by one distiller. And this is, I think we brought this up before about something else is how can they have a bottle and bond sourced? I
I,
I
I
still have questions on
I
that.
mean, if you are a non-distilling producer, you own a distillery, but you don't distill your own liquid. You can source
Yeah.
it. You can source a bonded whiskey from someone that was following those guidelines.
Okay. So you can so tech yeah, I mean,
Right.
yeah, I guess that makes sense. So you're buying a bottle and bond product
Yeah, and
and
just
so you're
call it
able
your
to
own.
label it.
Yeah.
Okay. All
Right.
right. Yeah, I get that then.
There's not
And
too many companies out there now. I mean, again, you're kind of stating some facts way back when, and there wasn't as much, you know,
yeah.
the sourcing thing is a new thing. It's
Yeah.
I mean,
True.
honestly,
Yeah.
it's probably within the last probably 15, 20 years, you
Yeah.
know.
Yep. And they weren't thinking about that then, you know what I mean? They weren't, but
No.
I mean they had people doing it and that's kind of what drove their reputation downhill.
Hmm.
So now they're coming back and people are starting to source again, but they're doing it under, I mean, now they're highly regulated. You know,
Yeah,
all
for
these
sure.
distillers.
Mm,
That has nothing to do with even bottle and bond. It's just as far as distillation alone goes. Uh,
right.
but back into that though, that it has to be also aged at least 4 years. And I know there's a misconception that you'll hear too that people will think, well, it's more than 4 years. Well, no, the minimum is 4 years. So it's not, it's not saying that it's more than 4 years, but the minimum. It's a minimum
Yeah.
standard. And and then they are bottled at 100 proof. And again, I think that's one of the sweet spots across many palates. And I think many people will agree that I think 100 proof fits a lot of palates. You know, a lot of people can drink a 100 proof and enjoy it.
Yeah. Yep.
Right.
And and then a lot of the regulation came down to labeling, and they had to be clear uh, and state where it was distilled, um, if it was different from where it was bottled. So I guess a lot of that too has to get down to that sourcing part. So they got to define where was it distilled and then where was it bottled at.
Yeah,
So
there's a little bit more to the whole what it's supposed to be, regulator wise.
yeah,
I think the grains play a factor in that as well, like where they get the grain from. Like it's all got to be the same place, I think. I don't
okay,
quote me on that one, but I think that's also part of it.
yeah,
So,
and I think there's the misconceptions out there too, which they're not. It means nothing to bottle and bond, but bottle and bonds are not single barrels. They're not small batches, and they're not. They don't have to be older than 4 years. That's a minimum, and they're not just because it's bottle and bond doesn't mean it's superior to anything else. But
yeah.
I like them.
Yeah.
I was chasing bottle and bonds for a long time, and I have a lot of bottle and bonds
Right.
and a lot of ryes. But at first, I was on the BIB train, and I was all about them. Bib it up.
Yeah.
That's
You
it.
know, like I referenced before, that early times, man, was
Hmm.
that was a hitter for me, and that's what really opened my
Yeah.
eyes to it.
Yeah, it's a very, very steady pour.
Yeah.
Well, it's slowly fading away from, from a lot of things I've been reading, you know.
I haven't had the new one yet, so
Yeah, a lot of people are not showing it the love anymore like it used to be,
uh,
and I don't know. I have a mixed opinion about it. I'm seeing this online and reading articles from big time people in the industry and stuff like that, and influencers, if you will. And
Hmm.
I don't know if I can trust them. And I know they're putting out a general statement for people and stuff like that, but they're saying that it's not as good as the black top, which is the old one that they don't make anymore. It's not as good as
Right.
the screw metal cap now, the blue
mm,
one that I think we all have at least one bottle of
mhm,
that. They
Yeah.
it's faded. It's changed into you know, Sazerac is doing a different style bottle now, and that's the one that's not getting some good love out there now. But
um,
Who who distilled the last version?
Buffalo Trace did. It was
Okay,
when
right.
it was
That's what
sold
I
from
thought.
Brown Forman to them. They had the blue top
Right.
bottle, but they changed the bottle
Yes.
recently to match like the benchmark style bottle.
I was gonna say, yeah, they're
Hmm.
in the benchmark bottle, aren't they?
Yeah, and that's where
Right.
people are
Yes.
thinking that it's changed since then. But I don't know. I love to compare them. I love to find a bottle of it and compare them over time.
That's why I messaged you guys the other day, and I thought they were out and about up here, but that might have been a different early times when
Yeah, I looked
there
it
were
up
the
online, and it
yeah
it definitely looked like it was the same. I know it was cheaper in price, but they also listed the
yeah
other one on the website
Right.
too, the blue one that we have.
yeah, and that was
So I don't know.
26.
Yeah, I don't know what the deal with that one is.
Yeah, hey, there was
Truthfully,
like
I don't.
a $6 difference between them, and it didn't. I
Yeah.
mean, I didn't go out to the store and look either, but
Yeah,
we've
I haven't had a chance to see the new version out and about yet either.
Yeah. I think it's just starting to come out now, like within
Right.
the last couple weeks, so
Well, we'll have to track it down and
yeah, we
see
gotta
what it's
find
all
it.
about. Compare, yeah, compare and contrast a little bit.
yeah. Um, yeah, I don't know. What are you guys sipping on tonight? We'll jump into that. For those listening, we did Zoom. We got some weather coming tonight, so we didn't get together.
Yeah.
And we didn't really have a bottle, anything on the radar that we wanted to get together to review anyway. So I said, we'll throw this together, and it fits with Bottle and Bond Day. So we all picked whatever bottle and bond we had at our houses, and that's what we're going with. So what are you guys on tonight?
John, what do you got?
I'm doing a little Old Pepper bottled in bond tonight.
Wow.
Okay.
So yeah, fresh crack on this one.
Ah,
Very smooth. I mean, for 100 proof, it's drinking flavorful, but under that 100 proof mark, surprisingly.
yeah. I've
But like I
never
said,
seen
first
that one.
timer.
I don't
Yeah,
think I've ever seen
this
it either.
one, yeah, this one was an out of stater.
Okay. Oh, I'm going old school, man. I got the old granddad bonded, not the 7 year, but just the old granddad bonded. So
Tried, true, and trusted, man. That's it.
yeah, like we mentioned last week, Jess. I think Gerard hit on it pretty well. He goes, they call it grandfather bourbon for a reason. They drink it because they're doing something
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, it's been around for a long time. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it wouldn't stick around that long if it wasn't good.
no, yep, it's got its spot in the market for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. How about you?
I'm on 1792 bottled in bond.
Okay.
This was I purchased this on the Fine Wine Good Spirits website. I think it's like $36 a bottle, and I was like, yeah, I had it for a while. I mean, I think the bottle's half gone.
Hmm.
I had some dinner before we started recording, and I don't have the freshest palate. Like we had some garlic in there, so it's throwing me off a little bit. It's got a little more heat to it than it should, I believe, because probably because and I had black pepper in there, so it's not the right way to start sipping after dinner. But
Yeah.
up front, it's super sweet tonight. Like it's like candy sweet almost,
Oh
It's
wow.
it's
Yeah.
flavorful. It's got some flavor to it. I'm thoroughly impressed with this bottle. This would be one for anybody to try, and it's if it's available, it's always going to be on my shelf. I
Oh
like it
wow.
that much. It's good, and I don't think you guys had this, right? Or
Hmm.
did we? Oh, we did try it, didn't we?
Yeah, you opened it. I think you had it
Yeah.
open
Did we
already.
do a review?
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we did that barrel or that bottle I had. It was a State Line pick.
They were
Were
a
they
single
both
But
barrel.
bottle and
That
bonds?
was single barrels, I thought. Oh no, it was the bottle and bond.
no,
Yeah,
they were bibs. Yeah, yeah, they were the
Oh,
yeah,
yellow necks.
yeah. That's right. Yeah, that's the last time I
okay.
had it, so it's been sitting since then, But I like it.
Wow.
I'm definitely enjoying it tonight.
Oh, that's a
So
very, very good bottle.
Yeah, man, I take this one has a real buttery mouthfeel. I got it, it's and I mean I ate a little bit too, but I just had potatoes and ham. So
yeah,
really, I mean, not much garlic, not much seasoning.
yeah.
But man, a buttery mouthfeel with that old granddad. I'm telling you, I was up at the club the other night and just the regular old granddad was sitting there. I was like, you know what? I'll have some of that. Just not on the rocks. Just give me a pour of that and sip it with some water on the side. And yeah, I had all the old timers looking at me going, what are you doing? What are you drinking on, you know? I was like, man, hey, it's good. It's good. It hasn't lasted this long for nothing. Wow.
Some of
Yeah,
the
and that's how this. Oh,
go ahead,
oh,
John.
and I'm lagging here a little bit tonight, so apologize for the cutoffs. But yeah, getting back to your, the old granddad you're sipping on. That's how this old pepper is buttery, caramely, and
Okay.
just silky smooth.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have to get that one to try when next time we're together. I'm
Mm,
interested in that
Mhm.
one. I've heard of Old Pepper,
yeah.
but not a. I didn't know. I mean, there's so many bottle and bonds out there. Sometimes you don't even know. You know.
Yeah.
But um, I was gonna say some of the notes that I was looking at earlier today, like some of the famous bottle and bonds that everybody refers to. The first one, and it's definitely a favorite of mine, probably because I love the distillery, is Old Forester bottle and bond. You know,
Yep.
um, the Evan Williams White Label bottle and bond. That's the best bang for the buck bottle that everybody says.
17,
Um,
Right.
I think it's around 17 in PA,
yeah, yeah,
19.
Yeah.
yeah. Henry McKenna, which I actually never purchased a bottle of that. That's another good one. You know,
Absolutely.
and then one of the other ones that kind of stood out because it's not talked about as much is Rittenhouse, and it's a rye, a bottled and bond rye. So I don't know
Yeah.
too many bottled and bond ryes, off the top of my head.
We had that one up at camp.
Yeah, it's good. I don't.
That's the one I brought up, I think,
Yeah,
that one
that's
time.
Yeah, it's a good one.
yeah, that's a
It's
tasty bottle.
it's
Yeah.
not bad. I kind
That
of
was
used it as
before
an
we
old
were
fashioned
recording, I
mixer.
think.
It was, yeah, yeah, it was.
You know? Yeah. I mean, that Evan Williams in old fashions, I like. Actually, the four that you listed, I have. Well, I think I'm out of the Rittenhouse. But all four of those I really enjoy. The Evan Williams is great in old fashions. The Rittenhouse, I don't think we did anything with. I think we were just drinking that straight.
Yeah, I think we sipped on it a couple times, and then I know that whatever you had left when you guys left up there was I threw some old fashions together with it, and
Oh,
it
did
was
you?
it was tasty with that. I
Yeah.
I actually kind of do miss it. I've been doing other stuff that's literally cheaper, not by much,
Okay.
but it's just we were going through old fashions like crazy. So
I would say that wasn't a really expensive bottle.
I think it's
I don't
like
think so.
31, 32 a bottle around here in PA.
Okay.
Which one was that? The Rittenhouse?
The Rittenhouse,
Yeah, the
yeah,
Rittenhouse.
Okay.
yeah. I think it's like
Yeah, I think I
31.
remember. Yeah, it was around $30. Yeah.
Yeah,
And I think that the Henry McKenna I actually picked up out of state too when I
that's
drive
around
over there.
now. It's around now more
Yeah.
than it's been, but yeah, that was a hard one to find for a
Hmm.
while.
Yeah, because I think
Oh
when we
yes.
got it, it was up in New York and uh you couldn't touch it down here then.
Yeah, yep.
Uh, and then obviously the Old Forester. I mean, we talked about it last week, but I think it kind of fell back in my charts, if I remember. It disappointed me, but if I remember correctly.
Yeah, that Old Forester 1897's always been on my list all the time. That's another one, just a good, steady, reliable pour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a good one for sure. Yeah, a lot of interesting facts about, bottom bonds. So there's a lot of information that, we could sit here all night and talk about it. There's a
Hmm.
ton of stuff about them and, you know, but
I just think we got one more day to celebrate still.
yeah.
Since we're recording this, what, 2 days
Yeah,
before it
right.
launches, so
Yeah.
we still have a couple days to celebrate. Well,
Got to write it out.
might as well take
This
the day off and go
this is
have
actually
a
my
night, have a
first
day on
pour
the
of
town.
this is my first pour in well over a week. I had a whole head cold going on and I'm still on the
Uh,
lingering effects of it or whatever, but I was down for the count most of the last week. And I haven't had I actually don't remember the last time I had a pour. Probably at least 2 weeks ago.
mm,
Anything in
Yeah, so
general.
you got
I
nice.
had I had a beer. I had a beer last night. That was it. Just I don't know why. I didn't want it. But
And nothing wrong with a little intermission.
yeah, yeah, that's for sure.
yeah, you always need something to warm you up a little bit, on these chilly nights. Mm. Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
no doubt about it.
I'd say, yeah, like you said, Jess, I mean, we could go on and on, but we could go ahead and wrap this up, I guess, and I won't keep blabbing on, but for those listening, and I guess, are we going to air this on YouTube?
Yeah, I've been putting them out there. The recordings and when
Okay.
we do the zooms. It's nothing.
Yeah.
It's not professional. I just upload it.
Yeah, tell me. I gotta clean up a little bit.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
really. I didn't get the memo on that. Wait a
Well,
minute.
this is better than the other ones that we did. I mean, there's only the other two we did. They're up there, I
Yeah.
think. But
Yeah. I think one I was in a hotel room.
yeah,
But yeah, well, so for those listening and watching, we can add that in there now. Don't forget, like and subscribe us on your major listening platforms. And if you're watching us on YouTube, like and subscribe. Leave us a comment, message us. Let's start up a conversation like we say always. I feel like I keep beating this dead horse, but it's Bottled and Bond Day. Let's talk about it.
yeah.
Let us know what's your favorite bottled and bonds. I want to know because I think I have every one that Pennsylvania offers. So I want to know what you have out there that I don't have. Like what is good? But let's talk about it. Other than that, I'm Chris,
I'm Jesse.
And Johnny here.
and we'll catch you with your cork out.